tell you what, that was amazing. It was so exciting. And you know what I loved the most was just all the support from shore. I mean, it was really phenomenal to hear everybody supporting him. And, you know, the first time he tried, it didn't really work too well. The second time was a little bit better. The third time I'm thinking, oh boy, he's going to start getting tired. And the fourth time, he got up and the crowd went wild. Well, I want you to know something. It was no surprise to me at all, because this is the man I've known ever since I was a child. Absolutely dogged determination, and he will always get it done. So thank you, Dad, for that, for your leadership as a father, and for all the things that you've done for the Western region and for the entire world of water skiing.
I am Dr. Jack's privileged niece, Lisa Knock Freischlag. And first of all, Jack, Uncle Jack, I want to say that I'm very grateful you started our family heritage. You started family water skiing in Colorado. We would not be here if it weren't for Jack starting on Patrick Lake in Colorado. And then you brought your vision and the water ski legacy to Colorado. You left us, but that's okay. We've inherited Horton Lake, and we love being at Horton Lake. So I just have a few things to say. It's interesting, Barry talked about dogged determination, because all I could think about is dog, and I'm a teacher, so I like acronyms, D-O-G. And so if you'll notice, Dr. Jack has Cricket on his lap, his favorite dog. And I want to say my uncle will fight like a dog for what he believes in. And he's always had a dog close by, and now Cricket's here tonight. And so first of all, for D and an O and a G, Dr. Jack, you are determined. You always said stay on your ski. When I was in high school, I thought my year was over because I crashed in the jump, and it was in a cast. And Jack said, don't put that cast on. You get out here because there's nothing ultrasound can't fix. Like, stay on your ski. Don't listen to those doctors. And secondly, I will never forget the comment from Barry when Barry called me and Jack was going out to jump at nationals, and Barry said, Jack, you said, I got to go ski because my fans won't let me quit. Dogged determination. So that's a D. Oh, opportunities. Uncle Jack, you have provided opportunities for so many people. Look at how rich this audience is for what you've done in the desert. I mean, all of these lakes are a result of what you started here at Horton Lake. You provided opportunities to ski. I got to coach at your marvelous ski school for a couple summers, which I will never forget. Others have come to train here with you. College students came. You had all the first desert tournaments. You provided so many opportunities, not just here, but worldwide. And then G, or dog, D-O-G, right? G, you have great vision. You nothing was going to stop Uncle Jack from building a lake in the middle of the Mojave Desert. And people thought he was absolutely crazy. There was no one in the beginning who thought he wasn't crazy, but look what happened. And now there are many lakes in the desert because of his determination and his great vision. So somehow you knew that there was an underground Mojave River. Somehow you knew catfish would thrive, and you could have a catfish farm in your lake. Next year we come out and he has this huge pistachio nut farm, and then the next year a wind turbine. And so there was nothing that ever thwarted your wonderful vision. So you're determined, you've given us amazing opportunities, and you have great vision, and let's give a hand to Dr. Jack.
I'll be very brief and just want to punctuate the O of what Lisa was talking about. I'm not a teacher. But it's the opportunity. Jack gave a really great opportunity to many young people, and I was one of them. Some of you may have heard me say that one of the greater joy moments of my entire life was I was about 14, and my parents, basically Jack's sister and brother-in-law, the Hortons came out to a tournament in Colorado, and I heard these glorious words out of Jack's mouth of, how about Jimmy just comes back to Horton Lake and spends the rest of the summer with us? Which meant Barry, which meant David, a lot of other great people, but that was the kind of person Jack is. I mean, he was just very inviting. He wanted to create opportunities for people. And as a young man, that was so great for me. When you're growing up, a lot of young men don't have an opportunity till college, where they're really separate from their parents and kind of doing their own thing. And Jack was not an easy boss. He had standards. There was more than one night when it was 8:30 or 9 at night, and all of a sudden we go, oh, we forgot to feed the fish. And we knew that we needed to feed the fish. So anyway, he created a really great opportunity for me to grow up, and he did that for a lot of other people, a lot of names I think you would know. So yeah, I feel a great debt of gratitude for that, and I wanted to say that.
Anybody wondering how I got here? I mean, like right here, right now? I got a little story to tell you guys kind of how this whole thing happened. Who are you? What? Oh, I'm David Horton. I'm Jack's oldest son. And I'm thinking back to a day when Dad packed us up in the car and we took this long drive, and 2 grade school-age kids played Army Man and hide-and-seek in the sand dunes all day long. And Dad had these big balls of twine and stakes and was doing something crazy. We had no idea what it was. And then we went home. And actually, I'm going to regress a little bit here because I got to go back in history. How did I get here? There was a place called the Boulder City Beach Club in Boulder, Colorado, and Dad was teaching water skiing there, and a gal from Texas came to Boulder and thought that a beach club in Boulder would be really cool. And she came for water ski lessons from my dad. And that's where they met, and that's where this whole thing started. And then, as was mentioned earlier, there's Patrick Lake that Dad helped found, and we all water skied at as youngsters and moved forward. Finally, Dad finished his medical training in Colorado, and he packed us up in a 1966 Mustang and drove us to California. And on that trip, in the middle of the summer, there was 2 parents, 3 kids, and 3 pets. And it was 115 degrees, somewhere near Barstow, and we swore we would never, ever come here again. Then there's Golden Avenue, which was mentioned by Frank, and that's where Frank and Dad and Bob Barton met, Ronnie's dad. And actually, if you know where that is, it's where the Queen Mary is down in LA, and it's not really a great place to ski. But there was a slalom course, and it was kind of ugly. And during that time, Dad had his parents come to California and started looking for a place for us to have a lake. And there's another key part that most of you don't know. Dad had a second cousin by the name of Roger Horton. And Roger, about 7 miles that way, had built a small pond to train his Labrador retrievers to retrieve. And Dad found out that Roger had bought a piece of property and dug a hole and could fill it with water. He started thinking, what could I do? And he actually talked for a while about buying property adjacent to Roger's property. And then my grandmother and grandfather came out here and they searched for several months and found the lot that's at 47716 Fairview Road, which is where Horton Lakes is. And this crazy guy right here built the first ever lake. It took 9 months to fill that. So 6 months later we came back after playing Army Man in the sand dunes, and there's 3/4 of a big hole. And we finally kind of understood what Dad was doing. 9 months later, the lake was full. This is now the summer of 1969, and we had a full summer of skiing at Horton Lakes. The national championship, Berkeley Aquatic Park. Guess who was the senior men's national champion? Right there. Following that, well, and actually during that time, we formed the Horton Lake Ski Club. There were regionals there were regionals here. The lakes and the desert started to form. We also had a water ski school with all kinds of amazing people. You can hear from Dave Benzel. Actually, Jimmy was an instructor at the ski school, so was I. Ronnie. A bunch of Aussies. Then a little bit later, Dad got nominated to the Hall of Fame for his nomination. And I'm going to wrap this up with this right here. And I don't know how much do you guys know Ball of Spray? Anybody know about Ball of Spray? It's my little brother's website. Never heard of it. Okay, well, on Ball of Spray, and I'm going to pass this around, there's this little pushpin mat. that shows where all the water ski lakes are actually in the world. This is the United States, and if you zoom in, there's far more. The number here is crazy. And actually, Frank talked about my dad being crazy. When you're one guy, you're crazy. When somebody else starts and follows you, it becomes a trend. And the number of man-made water ski lakes on the planet today is crazy. And so, this is my tribute to my dad. And to everyone, I want you to raise a glass and say, here's to the lake that Jack built. Thank you.
Was that great? Well, I tell you what, I can tell you, it's amazing to be a kid and grow up with a real-life comic book hero. And that's exactly what I did. Dad, you have been my hero my whole life, and I am so proud of you. You are a living legend. So I'd like to give you a chance if you'd like to say a few words. Would you like to do that?
Bring him up. Take a step.
It is the greatest sport, and the greatest people stay with it. And I can't help to convince you that I wouldn't change 1 minute of the time we had with all the wonderful people that was enjoying the kind of thing that we were. So, you know, we just have to keep plugging away because it's the best.
Stay here, Jeff. I want to share a couple things because I posted yesterday on Facebook his skiing and everything, and here's the comments of a couple of people. A couple of people is that Trudy Speak, who at the time was one of his students out there when I first came, saying, "Wonderful, wonderful, Dr. Jack." Her mother, Teresa Speak, who just lost her husband. "What a day. So glad your dream was to build a lake. Norm gave us cottonwood many years ago, thanks to you." Carol Lowe, and if you saw Dr. Jack, he still wears these little, I call them ball huggers, I'm not sure. But anyhow, what Carol Lowe, who was in charge of the Hall of Fame and everything, says, he still wears a bikini. Hi, Jack. Mark Crone, we heard about Houghton's Lake way up in Maine. That's how powerful it was, Jack. Mike Ciderhound, great to see Dr. Jack still shredding on his ski. Keep it up, Doc. And so those are the kind of comments that have come. And he's just such an awesome man. And you know, for us at Wet Set, this is so special. And I want to present Jack with a plaque here, and I want to read it. Our sincere appreciation to Dr. Jack Horton, leader, innovator, dreamer, and a creator. Thanks to you for living your dream, thus allowing us to live our dream. 2017 Western Regionals are dedicated to you. Thank you from Wet Set. We appreciate all you have given to our sport over the years, and we love you, Dr. Jack. This is so special, and you know, I just want to say it's so important because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jack. And as I said earlier, and I'm honored to be his friend. I'm honored to be standing here with him. And Jack, this is for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.